Hi everyone, this is Adrian.
And I'm Carrie.
And for this episode, we are going to talk about L'Homme Intense by Lacoste. And this is a good blue fragrance. It smells fresh. And there's a medium scent of citrus when you spray it on yourself for the first time. And then after like 10 to 15 minutes, it smells like fresh linen kind of fragrance that you
Maybe.
would
Yeah.
come across. It definitely smells like a blue fragrance, like Y and Sauvage. And so what notes are in this?
So there's a whole lot going on here. First of all, the L'Homme Intense is a kind of a more complicated and intense version of a scent that they came out with called just L'Homme. L'Homme came out in 2017, and apparently it didn't sell well enough compared to a lot of other blue fragrances like you observed. So they wanted to move it up a notch or so and go with an intense version. So they added several more notes. One of the reasons why this one catches some notice is because of one of its fruitier notes, which is rhubarb.
Okay.
That has become a note that has started to make a play in the fragrance world recently. And one of the, so it comes off with a sort of a sweet rhubarb in the top notes. And what I noticed most, because there's about 20 some notes here and it would just boggle your mind to listen to all of them. But what I get out of this mostly when I smell it in the top is rhubarb and mandarin. And then about 20-30 minutes later, you start smelling some black pepper, ginger, pineapple. And then a few hours into the dry down, you mostly smell vanilla, vetiver, and somewhat of like an amber and cedar with musk underneath it the whole time.
Okay. So why does it remind me of the other blue fragrances out there, like Y and Sauvage?
Well, I think probably because the kind of the middle part of it is a pleasant sort of a fresh but non-distinct sort of a smell that smells, like you said, like fresh linen or something. Pleasant smells that it's not any specific thing, but it smells appropriate for most situations. It smells soft and not necessarily overpowering. It's a kind of a generally easy to wear fragrance.
So it's something that you could wear every day to any occasion.
I think this could be good for almost all occasions. The only thing I notice is for most purposes that I've tried it, if it's too hot and you're wearing it like outside or something, or in too much of a closed space, you have to be careful about how much you put on, because some of the sweeter notes in it and a little spicier notes like black pepper and ginger start becoming a little cloying. They get a little bit, they'll choke you out if you have too much on in a hot or really close situation.
Okay.
Like maybe not the best thing to put on 15 sprays if you're going to be in a car trip going for 6 hours.
So is it the reason why it's called intense? Like what made this intense compared to the regular L'Homme?
Well, I think they, while it's still an eau de toilette concentration like the original Homme, I think they put in some elements that help to up the amount of like a scent cloud that you get, the amount of projection. Especially probably the musk, the ginger, black pepper, and a synthetic note called hedione, which is kind of a like a floral, fresh linen type of a scent, but it really helps to push the scent cloud.
Oh, okay. So how long has been the Lacoste brand been around?
Well, the Lacoste brand is not only fragrances. They actually started out as a clothing fashion design, and those have been around since probably the 50s and for sure the 60s and 70s. As far as fragrances, the earliest one that I know of is just Lacoste that came out in 1967. They weren't real big in fragrances for a while, but then they started coming out with more and more fragrances in the 2000s. Lacoste L'Homme came out in 2017, and it's pretty much the same as this one, but this one, they came out the next year, 2018, with Lacoste L'Homme Intense, and they kind of upped some of the supporting notes and stuff, and I think probably the musk and hedione, which helped to make it more of a projection type of a scent, so that it's not something that you smell when you're just close to a person, but when you're, you know, several feet away.
Okay, so let's talk about the bottle. And what I've noticed from this bottle is it's solid, it's opaque compared to most fragrance bottles, which you could see the liquid inside. Is there any reason it's been designed this way? It doesn't even say, you know, how much perfume is in it, you know?
So typically, when a bottle is very opaque like this, it probably means that originally the bottle was just clear or something, and then to differentiate it, they painted it.
Oh.
Now, you mentioned that it doesn't say the size on it, and true, on the label, you don't see the size, but underneath there's a tiny, tiny little sticker that has the batch code and some other information. This particular bottle is 150 mils. They come in 50, 100, and 150 mils. So this is the larger bottle. But sometimes the reason why they would paint a bottle black and make it very opaque, and it doesn't have to be painted, it could just be a very heavily tinted one, is some of the molecules in the fragrance are easily broken down if they're put in sunlight. So in order to preserve it so that it doesn't go bad in a year or two, they would either paint the bottle or have it tinted very dark black or amber. Or blue.
If you guys enjoy watching our videos, please like and subscribe because we enjoy what we do. And if you have any suggestions which fragrance or perfumes you want us to cover, let us know in the comment section. Bye-bye.
Bye, thanks.